Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Alright, hey guys, Tony the Soy Assassin. Let me know if the microphone sounds super weird because, you know, I'm trying something just for today, and we might change that up later on too. So for now, we'll just do this, and I'll wait like a few more minutes so that people can catch up before we do it, because after that, I don't know if the microphone is gonna get messed up or what. So we'll find out. Okay. So right now, hopefully this works. Alright, hopefully this works. A little bit of music, not too loud music, very little soft music. That should work. It slings good. It sounds good, you mean? Alright, so hi to Michael, hi to Brian, Cigar in a Jar, Aaron, Christopher. So what we gotta try today? Like, I just do that just because I think the opening for this particular cigar should sound like that. So I play with the sound a little bit. I download a sound app just so that I can do this. All right. So today, as requested, you guys want to smoke this, all right? And this is the Alec Bradley Filthy Hooligan
Shamrock. Alright?
Again, Alec Bradley Filthy Hooligan
Shamrock.
Hopefully that worked because I can't hear myself. So I'll have to hear that afterwards. So let me turn this back right now. Maybe the microphone will work normally after that because it makes it so that I had to wear a headphone, but I'm not wearing the headphone right now, so it's like kind of weird. I don't know. So yeah, now it should be normal. Now I can finally open my sound. Now maybe I can hear my own music. There we go. Yeah, whoops. There we go. So yeah, this is what we're smoking today, and I just choose a random one. You know, usually something like this, you want to kind of look at the color and everything before you choose yours. Today I just grabbed that. So we'll smoke it, and we'll smoke together if you have this on. Yeah, I just feel like, you know, you have to say it in that voice. I just don't have that deep, crazy voice, so use a voice changer for now. But yeah, that does mess up the speaker system. It forces you to use a headset. You know, one of those gaming headset. So you're like using like one of these. But you know, I wear a hat. I can't fit. Yeah, I can't fit. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh yeah, could probably do that too. Oh, the draw is super bad. Hold on. Better. Sometimes when I do a V cut and the draw is really bad, I just give it another straight card. Can Daytona tonight need a little more Lajero after work shift? Yeah. Fight! Yeah. Mortal Kombat! Let me light this up. So I hope you guys had a good Saturday. It's cold today. Like, oh my god. I don't really want to be out there today. But I gotta take my wife out shopping. We shop for food today. For 1 week worth of food, it's about it was 70 plus 1 for 2, so about $300 worth of food we bought today, and that's just only for 1 week. Sometimes food grocery can be very expensive, so just about to get to my daughter's Air Force base. Okay. You sure you didn't get the coronavirus? I'm kind of worried about you, man. I'm kind of worried about you. Something really aggressive in Chinese or Japanese. What are you talking about? So yeah, I'm smoking the Filthy Hooligan because you guys demanded, and so that some of you better be smoking this cigar right now. And why is that turned off? There we go. You can get it on. I don't know why my fan was turned off, but I turned it back on. There we go. Just to kind of irritate it a little bit. Make sure it's facing the back. No, that's facing the back. Come on. Ah, here we go. Ooh. Alright, it works. Fall too fast on my face. Anyway, so Filthy Hooligan. This is one of the cigars that you want to take your time to smoke because it's kind of mixture of very temperamental leaves, right? For one, the Candela does not like you smoking too fast. All right. For one, the Candela does not like you to smoke too fast, and then we have this Habano and Connecticut leaves on it. So you want to take your time on it. So I'm gonna take my time on it. I'm about to hit a casino. I'm gonna miss this life. Oh, I hope you win some money. I hope that's worth it, man. You better win some money. Spicy. Very spicy. Okay, it's very spicy right now. It's kind of grassy as well. Cedary. I think each one of these hooligans will give a slightly different experience because they're not all the same. The outside wrapper, the 3 layers, are not all the same, right? Some of them are more colorful than the others, for some reason. So it's not gonna be all the same experience for that. Driving since 3 this morning. Holy crap! Some dedication driving. Yeah, right before the show, I was upstairs watching a couple reviews about the new Corvette, the C8. So, my wife first she saw the red C8. She's like, "Oh, that looks ugly." Then somebody showed a picture of the press release, which is a white Corvette, and she's like, "Whoa, that looks really sexy." I was like, "That's the same damn car." If I did get corona, I deserve it with all the shit talking I've done about it. That's okay. More than 50% of people has recovered. So yeah, you should be fine. Just flu. It's flu season. Alright, just flu. Not a big deal. So today we actually had a really interesting conversation with my wife. We were talking, and all of a sudden it was like, you know what? Which country is good at war? And I'm not talking about recent years. I'm talking about throughout history. Which country is good at war? And I was like, And then we're like, first of all, China has never won a war. Okay? China has never won a war. China has never won a war. Yeah. So that we exclude. We think Russian are pretty good at war. Germans, obviously, they fought. They're the reason of World War II, so they're pretty good at war. Japanese, they sacrifice themselves as missiles. They're pretty good at war. Iraq are known to have wars. So what other country thinks are good at war? I think Persians are pretty good at war. Obviously Greece are pretty good at war. What other countries? Spanish war is pretty good. No, Spain is not that big of a war. Italy. My wife was talking about the Scottish war. I was like, well, Scottish is part of UK now, so yeah, they surrendered. How far back in history? Well, that depends. Something you can remember, because obviously we don't have that much war now. Every war right now has to do with U.S. Right now, every war has to do with U.S. Right? It's like, when's the last time Singapore went to war? When's the last time Thailand went to war? No, nothing, right? I think the only war that we didn't win in the recent history in America is Vietnam War, right? Every other war is a success. Just Vietnam. The lack of supply, that was it. Israelis are good at war. Oh, did I tell you guys a story about the series Satellite Radio? Today I went to a Mercedes dealer and we talked about the series Satellite Radio issues that I have. The Spartans. Well, the Spartans are good at fighting, but they didn't win a war. You know, the 300s, you know, Rome total war. They suck at World War II though. Yeah, I mean, talking about war, and then yeah, today I was on my way I went to wash my car in the dealer, and then, you know, because recently what happened is I had satellite series radio, and I have all access pass to listen to all the channels, but I realized that my channel only go up to 219 recently, and so obviously for a while I didn't care because I don't use it all that much, you know. And one day it's like, you know, why am I paying for 500 something channels and then just to listen to 200 something channels? So yeah, I called them and asked them what's going on, and I was told this, sir, your satellite radio is too old to receive all the channels. That's why you're not receiving all the channels. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? You're telling me a 2018 car is too old to receive all the channels off a radio. He's like, yeah, sir. I was like, okay, that's fine. Just cancel my account. I just basically tell him to cancel my account. And I kept going, right? And today I went to the dealer and I talked to one of my friends over there who also, you know, he owns cars. He's still in college. And then he's thinking about getting rid of his car. And I was like, did you hear about what happened? I was like, what happened? I was like, my satellite radio will not give me all the channels now. It will give me 219 channels, not 500 something channels. So he was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? No way. Did you need it to be repaired? Let's write up a repair order. I was like, no, man. For me to ask you to repair my satellite radio right now is like me complaining how PS4 will not play PS5 games. Right? That's how stupid it sounds. For a company that basically made it obsolete, any radio that you have before 2018 will not receive those things. Basically, that's what they're saying. I was like, you are funny. You like, 2019 barely ended. You say my 2018 radio is too old to receive all the radio thing, and it just sounds so stupid of a way. It's not that big a problem because my wife also have satellite radio, and that account has Wi-Fi. You can use it on like anything that has internet, like internet radio. So literally I can connect my cell phone to it and then stream it to my car. I can still listen to whatever channel I want. So that's okay. But there's no reason for me to have two accounts now. So I just like, you know what? Screw it. Just cancel that account. If I can't listen to it, I don't need it. So yeah, they unhappily canceled it after going through like three or four people. Each one of them take forever. It literally took me almost 2 hours just to tell them to cancel my account. But I canceled it, and I talked to the Mercedes dealer friend, and he literally just laughed and said, that's ridiculous. I've never heard about that. I was like, yeah, they're pretty much forcing you to change your satellite radio. Literally, on the phone, they tell me, it's like, you know what? You want to go back to your dealer and tell them that there's something wrong with your radio. Maybe they'll change it for you. I was like, there's no such thing as they will change it for me. It's that the radio itself is not programmed to do what you guys have changed to start with. Going back there, ask them and change me a new radio will do exactly the same thing. Like, I don't know what kind of education those people in India is having, but for them to say that to me just drives me nuts. As if they think I'm an idiot, you know? It's like, yeah, so if you take the radio, change to another same radio, you'll perform somewhat differently. No. Alright? No. That's retarded. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, I figure I would be buying new cars very soon anyway. There's no reason for me to do that. Software or firmware update. Now the radio actually have firmware update automatically, so I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be a problem. Like it does over the air. If there's any update needed. So that's actually done over the air. I went to online and searched. So many people have that problem. So it's like I'm not the only problem. Well, that's the thing. I mean, Fernando, it depends what you listen to, right? I listen to jazz when I drive. So when I listen to jazz when I drive, there's no jazz channel. So that's the only difference. I sometimes listen to news, but I listen to jazz. So all in all, it's not that big a deal. It's just that it's one of the services I pay for. I want to get full use out of it, but I didn't. Right now it's like that little bit in, but I'm tasting all those Connecticut goodness. But it's funny because the Connecticut leaf they use on this is actually not like light body. It's actually quite like medium strength of Connecticut that I'm tasting. Even though it's, you know, even though they kind of stack over each other, you still taste all. It tastes one at a time. You don't really taste all at the same time all the time. It's weird. It's weird the way this barber pole is done together. You know, sometimes you get more of something, sometimes you don't. But they are evenly rolled together on top of it. So I wonder why they will have different tastes. I even have Spotify family account too. So I have Spotify's family account. I have satellite radio family account. I have iPod in the car. You know, just whatever. So. Definitely green tea. And this green tea is not just regular green tea. Now, if you like this green tea flavor and you want to drink the same tea flavor, don't go up there and get the matcha green tea. This is not matcha green tea, okay? This flavor is actually the sencha green tea. Sencha. Sencha green tea is this flavor. So if you don't know what green tea people are talking about, you're always like, you know, smoking some candela. You're like, what green tea are you talking about? This is not the green tea ice cream flavor. It's not, because it's not matcha green tea. All right? This flavor is actually the sencha green tea. So if you go out there and buy sencha and go home and try it, it will taste just like this. Sencha green tea, right? So sencha green tea, they're kind of stringy. They're almost like, almost feel like shredded leaves, but not like whole leaf, like cooked. They're actually really green. They're actually really good, really healthy for you. My wife loves to drink. She drinks like 10 cups of those a day. So sencha green tea is what you look for if you want to taste the candela green tea kind of flavor. I think that once you drink it, you'll be able to identify that particular green tea flavor better on any of the cigars. So yeah, recently I started to see all those posts about like, you know, how can people do whatever if the government's still teaching you how to wash your hands. You know, the truth is that a lot of people don't know how to wash their hands. This is how people wash their hand. Done. This is how people wash their hands. People really don't know how to wash their hands. No one is gotta do this, okay? No one's gotta do this. Wash your hand, get soap, get a scrubber, alright, and then do some more, and then rinse the hands, and then like, okay, put some gloves on me. No one's gonna do this, okay? It doesn't matter. I don't know why people is like, you know, if you see what kind of stuff they're putting on themselves and how many steps they had to go through in the hospital that treats coronavirus, you'll be like, nah, I'm not doing shit. Because if I'm gonna go through that, like all those dressing protocols, I would die. Right? You know, I'd rather get coronavirus kind of thing. You know, they go crazy. They go crazy. My mother-in-law is like, I'm not doing that. I was like, if you're not doing that, it's the same thing. You don't even have to wear a mask. I asked her, how many people do you see out there wearing masks right now? Today, I went through the mall. I went through two markets, and the mall, and I saw like about 4 people wearing masks. Okay. Alright, Travis. You know, this is why I don't touch the handle inside the bathroom. I will touch the handle walking in the bathroom. I will not touch the handle out the bathroom. I'll just use my foot or wait for somebody to open the door. Okay? Or sometimes I use my elbow, just kind of open it. Because I know a lot of people will go into the toilet or, you know, clean and stuff like that, coming out and didn't wash their hands. And then, you know, as soon as you grab that thing and then, you know, usually in the restaurant and stuff like that, you got to go back to eat. So, you know, I don't touch those. Do I you know, it depends. Sometimes I will use towel to dry my hands, and I'll use that towel to open the door and then throw it, you know, because the trash can is right next to the door. So you just use the towel, dry your hands, and then use the towel to grab the door and then open and then run out. So sometimes I do that. What I don't really care for is if I go to a cigar lounge. A cigar lounge or or like a cigar bar, like a specific area where I'm not gonna eat, so I'll be okay, kind of thing. And like most people don't take a big shitter in the cigar lounge, so I actually feel quite safe because there's only one toilet. You know, it's pretty limited, but I always do wash my hands. So. The menu is so nasty too. People don't think about it. Imagine how many people touch it and how dirty they are. Yeah. However, the thing about the menu is that you have no choice but to read it. So a lot of places use paper menu. All right, that is, how do I say it, more nasty than like a plastic menu. Because the plastic menu, they'll wipe it. They'll wipe it with a towel sometimes. Paper menu, they never wipe it. So sometimes like you sit down and they give you a paper menu and you see like grease and things on there. You're like, you really? Can you just print another one? You gotta give me this one? You know. So a lot of time, me and my wife actually went to a few restaurants where we sit down and didn't want to touch their menu. So we went to just Google their menu and just start reading off that and then just give them that thing and then have them take the menu away because, you know, millions of people who's sick, they might even cough and sneeze on it and you know, you gotta go home and feel sick. So ooh, you know, this is it. The good part about this is you're always getting a different flavor here and there every few puffs. The bad part is that if you find a good flavor in there, it's not consistent. You know, when next puff it might be gone. Yeah, there's a lingering flavor. It's pretty good. Now, compared to the last year version, I don't really see much difference. I think this particular one is more spicy than the one I smoked last year. I don't know. If you guys smoking right now that remember how last year is like, you let me know. Because I do feel like it's more spicy than last year. Yeah, it has that lingering spice going on a little bit. Not a lot, but it's more than last year, in my opinion. So surprisingly, you know, right now, let's talk about the Chinese cigars. Because I saw the post from Jeff, and they're talking about how, you know, Chinese cigars, DR tobacco. The thing about tobacco is, how do you classify tobacco? You know, a lot of things, like I say, you know, there's Connecticut leaf that's not growing in Connecticut. There are other leaf that's growing somewhere else. There's DR leaf that's not growing DR, and there's, you know, how do you classify that? How do you classify that? The thing about China is that they have their own farm to grow tobacco. Have huge farms to grow them. I showed you some picture in the group. There's huge farms to do that. However, the seeds are obviously not from China. China did not grow tobacco seeds in the beginning. All right, they do have history of tobacco way back. Okay, it was tobacco and then opium, you know, we do grow tobaccos in China. But like the cigar leaves are slightly different. The way they grow is slightly different, and they learn how to grow it from DR for sure. They learn how to grow from from the Dominicans, and literally learn the art of cigars. So the way they plant it is gonna be very similar. But if you gotta say that Chinese cigar is actually DR leaves, it kind of doesn't make sense per se, because there's gotta be mixes, right? So if the seeds are from DR and then they also use some leaf imported from DR, which one does that count? Like, you know, because I mean, obviously, sometimes you have a blend that's from multiple different places, but not necessarily grown there. Chinese cigar quality control. Apparently, they do. The big company, they do. The big company, they do. They actually, you know, the ones I buy, they are award winning, and they really test it out and everything. So Sherry is here. They really do look at it. They look really, because they want to charge money for it, so they really have to be, you know, quality standards, because they're battling against other countries. So by the way, remember I talked about how Africa is doing their own cigars, and call it whatever, or something like that. Here, I'm looking it up. It's called Bongani. Bongani. Now there's a rumor that Bongani Cigars has investor from China, and literally it's the Chinese people go to Africa and tell them that why make just leaf, make your own cigars. That there's a rumor that's coming out from a few of my sources telling me that. You think that if it's rolled in China, it's Chinese, and if they use some leaf from other places? Yeah, I think so. The thing about China is they try to grow as much as they can do it. And sometimes the crop is not that good, whatever, they will import the leaves to make a similar blend or something like that. I don't think they have that much need, other than the amount they need it. If you guys see the picture, their farms are huge, so. The farms are huge. They grow a lot of tobaccos. So I think that, you know, I wouldn't say that it's, you know, Dominican tobacco. I would just say Dominican seeds, because the seed had came from somewhere. And I know that they got seeds from Cuba. They got seed from DR. They did not have seed from Nicaragua. I don't think there's any Nicaraguan cigars leaves, tobacco leaves in China at all. I don't think there is, because Chinese people like a more lighter flavor of cigars. They like a more subtle, you know, easy to smoke. They're not looking for a big black full body Maduros, you know. So yeah, I don't think they will do well with those. But yeah, the farm, they pride themselves over there too. Like I say, if you guys remember my first experience to go buy Chinese cigars, they were like, hey, if you wanna go buy those, you know, Cuban trash, go do it. I don't care, go. You know, they are so proud of their own product. They don't care. They don't care what you buy. Even though the store also sells Cuba cigar now, they still promote Chinese cigar more. They don't care if you don't buy it. Well, that puff was really grassy. That puff is really grassy just now. So, you know, they take pride of their product. China likes to want to make everything, right? China 2025, they want to make everything in the world by 2025, which I think is a big mistake. Everybody has something good about what they make. You know, for example, you know, go to Vietnam by jade, or, you know, go to you know, Japan by, like, you know, matcha and stuff like that. You don't want to make everything, right? When you want to do everything, it's like going to a restaurant that has 500 items on the menu and you don't know what you get. I really don't think they should. And now they're saying that because China has so many issues, now we might not have enough Tylenols because like some of the ingredients you made those medications are from China. So like if they don't make those medication ingredients, we run out of things. We're smoking the Shamrock Filthy Hooligan, which is by Alec Bradley. I know that there are some people that really doesn't like any of the Alec Bradley though. Cigars in China has some market, but not the biggest market. All right, it's a niche, right? Because they also imported a lot of Cuba cigars. Cuba cigar is like #1 money making thing for China right now. Like Chinese government, not Chinese people. Chinese government. So they're pushing a lot of Cuban cigars. But Chinese cigar is one of those things like I can afford it, so I do it kind of thing, and I just like want to support China, so I smoke Chinese cigars kind of thing. It's not everyday people's gotta go there and buy like 10 boxes of those. What is the average price for Chinese cigar in dollars? Some of them, it depends on the size. Let's say for Robusto, you're looking at between $10 a stick after tax to, I've seen $70 after tax per cigar. So those I never bought them. I never bought those, so I don't know. But there are some really stupidly expensive cigar which come with their own humidor with a humidimeter and everything. I showed you guys the box of Grey Wall before, right? So that it's like that. Premium cigars will come with their own humidor and then readings of those humidity in there. I usually buy it more expensive because I gotta go there, I gotta buy stuff, I gotta pay tax, and I come back, gotta pay tax again. So I pay tax twice just to get cigars in China. But it's becoming a small hobby to go there, bring something back to show you guys, so that you guys can see what they have and stuff like that. I really wonder if Japan had their own cigar. I don't think Japan has their own cigar brand. Nope, Japan don't have cigar brand. When I go to Japan, I buy the Cuban cigars, but I've never seen a cigar brand of Japan. So, let me see if there's such thing. Nope, they don't have a cigar brand on their own. They sell Cuban, Honduran, Dominican brands. Now, keep in mind, Fernando, there are $2 to $3 cigars. But then they call it cigars actually cigarette. Okay, there are sub $5 cigars, but they're literally packaged like cigarette and look like cigarettes. Yeah, Japan has this anti-tobacco movement because so many Japanese people smoke cigarette, so they're having a huge anti-tobacco movement. So they actually try to not grow something like that because that gets bitched at all day. They do, which they make cigarette out of. If it's short filler, they put in like cigarellos. They literally look like cigarellos, and you can buy that in regular stores, and they sell in the same store that they sell to like regular cigarettes. So the cigar shop that sells real cigars, like cigars, like we're talking about gauge cigars, not like cigarello cigars. You have to go to a specific shop, and the entire Beijing only have like 3 or 4 places that sells it. Like, I literally have to talk to the guy before I get there because he doesn't give a shit if I buy one or not. You know what? Let me show you guys some pictures of Chinese cigars. let's see. Let me just show you some stuff. One second. Let me make sure I get the right one to show you guys. Because Chinese cigar is all about packaging. You know, I've talked to you guys before, like Chinese cigar really is about packaging, so so if I can find some regular cigars, and I'll show you guys. Here is one example. Alright, here's one example. If you buy cigars in China, the box comes like this, okay? Alright, so, and this is not even like a, you wouldn't call that a box set. That's just regular, a box of cigar will have look like. Let's see if I can get to it. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Downloads. You know, Chinese cigars, they jack up the price a lot, but like they make it so that it's like a whole set. Look at this. This is just a box cigar. This is not separate humidor or whatever. This is just how it is. All right, how it lined up, tubos inside a box with humidors and humidification, all built in there, all built in there. Okay, and let me see. And obviously they have a less premium ones too. But you know they don't have they box it like, you know, all those different places that doesn't have, you know, cellos and stuff like that. Let me show you another one. Like this is how they advertise it. This is from like app picture. This is just a little bit how they advertise it. See, like that. It's all about advertisement. It's all about presentation and stuff like that. Yeah, let me show you a few more. Let's see. I want to give you guys a correct picture of it, so I just want to make sure I get it right, because that required me to go to their web pages, and their web page loads like crappy slow. Okay, there we go. If I go back, go back. Oh, this one. How about this one? How about this one? Okay, here we go. Chinese cigar. Because right now, if I go to the website, I see a lot of Cuban cigars, and which is not why I want to show you guys. Look at this. They even have this kind of like a collector jars for, like, you know, for cigars. They have this. Not crazy. Okay, now. Yeah, you gotta be able to afford it. I mean, cigar is not, you know, it's not everybody thing. You know, some people, like I said, average earning in China is $100 a month. $100 a month. 10 cigars later, you're broke for the month. So you can imagine that most people isn't gonna be able to do that. All right, here we go. I just saw a nice picture I can show you guys. So, okay, how do I take a picture of that? Hold on a second. I want to show it to you guys, but it's like it's giving me a hard time trying to take a picture of this. Control N. Okay, let's try that. Control N. Control N. Ah! When I try to click onto it, it gives me this problem with the wrong cigars. Let me see if I yeah, it automatically goes to a stupid. Alright, let's see if I can find pictures. Actually, I can just do this way. So, sub $5 cigars. This is how it looks like. Sub $5 cigars. The quality is so bad. I don't even know why people buy them. But here, I'm gonna show it to you guys. Alright, here it goes. Cut. Sub $5 cigars. So you know what I mean? It's really cigarette. It's cigarello, but it looks like a freaking cigarette. That's the things that sub $5 you can buy in any store. Alright. That's what you can get. That depends where you're living. A lot of time is houses passed down generation after generation. So you have like 100-year loan where like 3 generations of people try to pay one rent. So if one person earns 100, you have a family of 10, you will make 1,000. So it depends on what you're like. Like some housings are not livable. Here. Ready? Time for some history lesson. Well, not history, cultural lesson. Alright, ready? Let me show you some houses, how they look like. Average people don't live in like tall building high rises, okay? Average people live in house like this. And this is easily found on Google. You just search for Beijing houses, you'll find these. This is the average house in China. Alright. Now, some people did renovate this, okay? Some people did renovate this so that some, you know, even if you live in this kind of housings, you will still try to fix it up and make it more modern. So yes, people do make the house look better as they can afford it, and this is how it looks like. Alright, this is how they look like, you know? If you want to make your house slightly better, You know, you do some renovations. And I would almost consider this as redneck renovations. Just kind of extended the living room out a little bit, and inside they did a little bit better job. Okay, a lot of housings look like this. Okay, this is how it looks like. So it's not like they're living in a glorious house. The house is made out of concrete and bricks. So they actually last hundreds of years, and you can have your crazy loan for hundreds of years. Okay? Now, some community are nicer, but I'm talking to you like these houses are, you know, are not average. All right, this is like, you know, you live in Beijing, you have you know, some money. All right, you have some money, then you live in some like apartment like this. Okay, you can live in an apartment like this. Almost look like a freaking parking lot, but this is why you are living if you live in like in the central China, the city China. But if you don't, even if you're richer, you probably just make an old place look better. Alright, you could make an old place look better. This is old. This is like an old street where, you know, they just make over the inside. They just make over the inside because, you know, getting a new place is next to impossible. But if you want to see, in the same street this house is on, the other houses look like crap. Alright? Not everybody can afford the lifestyles. Not everybody can afford it. So, most will rent. But, you know, keep in mind, if you do live in some of these houses, chances are you have like 3-4 generations living in that house, and it's probably most likely paid off by then, you know. If you rent, it wouldn't be too much anyway, but because, you know, every day they just go out and work, they can't afford good houses. So some places after they inherited the house, the land, they will do some makeover to the interior of the house. To the interior of the house. Okay? So, you know, even if you think that like I'm actually showing you guys really old pictures, this should show you guys that it's not that old. This is, you know, this is how, like, you know, you can see that Mercedes-Benz over there is only a few generations. It's only like 2 generations old. So you can tell that is not. That's how the street looks like. China's taxing thing is kind of weird. China taxing is kind of weird. The land tax is not as crazy as you think. Some areas tax is literally next to none. It's almost it's poor area, so they don't really charge you a lot. The land tax will be really little, if none. Some of them will get none, no tax. Okay. The house that I own in Beijing, or apartment I own in Beijing, pays no tax, 0 tax. Okay. The apartment in Beijing that I own, it pays no tax. Because they only charge you some serious amount of tax if you change hands. If someone sells it to you, or you sell it to another, or you pass down to your kids, they charge you those tax. But if you just own it outright, it's still some places are not taxed, or not taxed heavily. Depends where you are. All right, so yeah, you know, if you're looking at the China, you know, city pictures, then yeah, you're gonna find really nice houses. But, you know, in some areas, once you pass that area, you see ghettos. So literally, if you just go by like 4 or 5 streets away from the museum, the Forbidden City, you will see those old houses. So these old houses are only few blocks away from the Forbidden City. Right, the Gugong Imperial City. Let's see if I can find it over here for you guys, because I can't find like here's a picture of what like people take at 2013. Okay, 2013 is not that long ago, but you know, because it's hard to find these pictures, so let me just give you some, you know. So unless you're in the city, you live in ghetto like this. Alright, and even this is really well. These houses are built better than the big buildings. Alright? If you're talking about like those high rises in China, those are not that well built. They're built as quick as they can, and then interior they'll decorate it as good as they possibly can. Alright, but they're built very cheap. They're built to not withstand a long time. You buy, you sell, you go. Alright? So interior will look absolutely beautiful in those high rises. Let me show you an example. Alright, so here we go. Marble walls, and you know, everything's set up just for you. This will be a typical you know, Chinese housings in the high rises. Okay, this is how it looks like. Alright, but it's not built to last. It's not built to last. Okay, I want to show you guys how those look like doing construction, but I don't think they have those pictures. They were just shells, like they're just, you know, cover-ups. But if you look at like a Chinese old houses, they're built with pure concrete and cement, so they last a long time. All right, they last a long time. What is the homeless population like? Many people are work, but they can't afford those homes. All right, that's a hard one to answer. Okay, let me just show you guys this one too. Like this is more realistic, you know. This is the typical apartment. This is more realistic. So the homeless people, you can't really tell that they're homeless. What happens is they work every single morning doing their kiosk food and stuff like that. You don't know if they're living nowhere. But is there homeless people? Yes. But they hide in the day. They hide during the day, and they at nighttime they will hide in one of these old places. So you would think that they were one of the locals, but you don't ask. So it's hard to tell you like what is the situation of the homeless. Let me see if I search for it, and I'll find something for you guys. All right. Alright, see if I can find it for you guys. Because they work so hard, you can't really tell the difference between if they're just regular working or they're homeless, because they look the same. I can't really find it. Okay, here's an example. Here's an example. This is a homeless. This is a homeless. However, if you just go up to ask him, are you homeless? He's probably gonna say no. He's probably gonna say, I have a job, I'm just resting, because he's dressed like normal people. A t-shirt and a jeans and the shoes, and then, you know, he's just sleeping on a chair. He might just taking a rest. So you don't ask them whether or not they're homeless. So it's hard to, like, the line between are they homeless or not is hard to tell. But a lot of homeless people will actually fake a car accident or something like that. For example, a car is not moving and they will run towards the car and get themselves hit, so they give some payment, and then they'll last a month. Or something like that, you know. Just they will go to a really expensive car and just say, you know, if you don't give me money, I will, you know, I will stay here, you know. People are killing me. This guy hit and run, you know, and you'll give them some money so they'll go away. So those are the homeless. But here's another one. This one you can kind of tell that he's homeless. Here we go. That looks like a homeless, right? That is a homeless. However, if he tell you that, oh no, I work in a nearby construction site, I'm just taking a rest, you'll be like, okay, right? So you don't really question like what is the homeless, what is not, but you know that they make a bare minimum, and a lot of time people stay with their family, all right? So it's not something that, you know, rare to see a family or one of those houses have like 10, 15 people living there, okay? So a lot of time, even if they're homeless, they will go to one of their family member, last for a few days, move another place, leave for a few days. So they're more like a traveler rather than homeless, all right? They're like Vikings, okay? Okay. So the definition of homeless in China is actually very, very odd because, you know, they always have some family member that can take them in for a few weeks, and then they'll move to another family member and take them in for a few weeks. The actual homeless are not that out in the open. Okay, so not every like China building look like that nicely. Okay, just not. Yeah, just not. No. Plus, the police will kick you away. If you try to stay in the one area, they complain. The police will try to chase them away. So it's not like homeless people will stay in one place for that long. They hide their you know, whatever that looks bad. All right. So like I said, you know, in Asia, it's like that. You buy a house as an investment. You live there for a little bit. You buy the next newest thing, and you sell your old places. And then just keep changing hand like that. You know, bring the building down, new development, yada. You know, but then everybody who buys a house, usually a lot of money. They have a lot of money. All right. Those places I just show you, those places doesn't change. Those places are always that old. So if they pass down, like for example, your great-grandfather paid off that house, live in like old-ass crappy places, right? Finally they died. It passed down to grandfather. Your grandfather said, I just need to live here. I don't need a house. I just need to live here. So you have another 3 generations of people, you know, grandfather, father, parents, and the kids live in that house. So you probably have like, you know, 8 or 9 people living in that place. And then basically the second generation will own that place, and then they will do renovation. So inside will look relatively okay, you know, something up to date. But outside looks like crap because changing outside costs a lot of money. Changing inside just to cover up, very easy. Very easy. Like, it's almost over here. Pure wood product costs arm and a leg, right? If you were to get a nice humidor, it costs like, you know, hundreds and thousands of dollars, right? But in China, wood products are cheap, which kind of doesn't make sense because if any place has wood, America has shit out of wood, all right? Everything's made out of wood. America should have a lot of wood, but no. In China, most houses are built out of concrete, so they don't need a lot of wood. What does wood do? They use the wood to make furnitures. Now, if you have like a rare red wood, then yeah, that will cost more. But regular wood product, like faux wood, they work very well. And I almost have zero reason to do IKEA stuff because IKEA is really just for like newlyweds that go out there to buy houses. In China, it's almost a standard question when you try to marry a woman. You go to their house and then meet their parent. The parent is like usually will say, if you want to marry my daughter, fine. Buy a house, put it under her name. All right, that it became like almost standard questions that the female parents do nowadays. Like if you don't have the money to at least buy a small place, then they won't let their daughter marry because you're not gonna make enough money. No, they don't want you to buy a house under both of your name. They want you to buy a house under their daughter's name as part of the payment, like a gift money to go with it, so that the daughter will eventually, let's say if she divorced, she keep the house and give it to the mother or something like that. It's crazy. So for China, real estate obviously is a lot of money, and then if you want to get married, you better have a lot of money. Now you gotta ask, what about those poor people? They just become single for the rest of their life? No, poor people marry another poor people. Poor people, they usually have arranged marriage, or they have, and when I say arranged marriage, it's actually not that much better. Okay, so when I say average earning $100, okay, that's US dollar, $100, it's even less in certain areas. Okay, so those really, really poor areas, they will get their daughter to marry into the city, and then the daughter will have a better life, slightly better life. Have a job, whatever, working and making pancakes, getting pancakes, Chinese fried rice, that kind of stuff. Is there a high divorce rate in China? Divorce is very hard in China. All right, you had to go. Both have to sign. You can't just like one person sign, the other one is divorced. No. The divorce rate is high, very high with people that are rich. All right. Divorce rate is pretty low with people that are not rich. And what about two people that doesn't want to be with each other? They just want to divorce. Oh well, guess what happens? They just leave and disappear. All right, so like you have a wife taking the babies, kids, and just disappear, left their husband, the good for nothing, drunk all the time, gambling, all that good for nothing husband. They can't get them to divorce them because both had to sign. They had to go to court together with the marriage certificate. The guy obviously not gonna do that, so the woman just leaves and never come home. Number one problem in China is actually not divorce; it's actually cheating. All right, adultery. All right, so a lot of rich men, they will have 5, 6, 7, 10 women on the side. All right, they have a side woman, and they can afford it. Now the wife don't want to divorce them because obviously the court is pro men, right? The woman will get probably barely anything if they leave. So the woman will just stay home, continue to live her life, and the guy at home will pretend living a normal life. But when he goes out, there's plenty of other wives. Okay, so that's usually what China is, still is. Especially if you're rich. If you're poor, yeah, well, you don't really have money to go out there and have another wife. But if you're rich, somewhat well off, cheating is much bigger problem than divorce. Right? It's almost like a culture kind of thing. And you gotta know, there's some area of China has a lot of Muslims, and Muslims tend to have 4 or 5 wives. So, that translates. Depends on what part it is. Halfway through, more coffee. It's kind of weird because now in the beginning it's very green tea, it's very creamy, and now halfway through I'm actually getting more coffee flavor. The burn is a little bit off a little bit. I think it's not dry enough, to be honest with you. That it's giving me more coffee taste. It's getting me more of that heavier, darker flavor. So halfway through, transition. Even though, like I say, the wrapping, the outside is still the same. It has to be something inside where they layered it differently. But China is complicated. It's really complicated. It's still pro male, even though the families are pro female, right? If you have a baby daughter, they're like, money. That is money right there. That is money right there. Why? Because back in the days, it's all about having multiple kids, and the son was supposed to take care of their parents. That kind of changed a little bit. The son, when they have enough money, they move out, and they don't really take care of their parents. And the parents are like, Generation X. They don't really give a shit. If they already prepped themselves to live alive, even if they don't take care of it. But they know that have a daughter when they get married, you can demand a lump sum of money, and they usually wait for that. They're right next to each other. They're right next to each other. Now, China's highway, like Beijing, right? The center of Beijing is, in the center. And then the highway runs in circles. Okay, here it goes. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Alright, here we go. This is how China basically look like with their highways. Alright, this is Chinese highway. And there's 5 highways. 5 highways, right? Even though it says 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's no number 1. So there's no 1. Alright? So the outer skirt you're at, the more poor you're at. But then, like, you go with that. You go with this. Okay? So this is the highway. And each loop basically tells you how close into the city you are. In the more inside, the more rich it is. And so it's encapsulated. However, there's spots in certain area. You can see like how this highway is not complete circle, right? This highway is not exact circle. Ooh, shit. This highway is not exact circle. Now, because it's not exact circle, it kind of just tells you which part is more important, right? So the more into the city, the highway is more capsulated, and the outskirt is like pretty huge loop that nobody goes anywhere at that, because nobody needs to go anywhere in between. No one needs to go anywhere in between, and those between area is what is most expensive. What is most expensive? What is not? So here's a picture of how much it costs. Alright, so it's hard to explain this, but I'll try my best to explain this to you guys. Oh shoot. Now here is the price range of that area inside number 2. Inside between number 2 and number 3. Alright? These red dots, each square meter, I guess, square meter, well, 1 ping is about 50,000 yuan to 80,000 yuan. You can see in the very corner this corner, you have between 4 or 5, but you go up there is 5 to 8, right? You go out there 5 to 8, and you go up, but then if you just cross over just a little bit from the top down, is between 6 to 8. So there is a difference between those. I assume wealthy people are the ones with car for the most part. That is not true. Import cars has an import tax between 120% to 250% tax. Alright? Import cars has a tax between 150% to 200% tax and fees. But cars made by China are really, really, really cheap. Cars made in China are really, really, really cheap. And the after, like, used car market are huge. So poor people still need to drive to place to work. So they will still use cars. However, car is not the best way of traveling. It's not the most convenient way of traveling. You gotta ask why, right? Your car has a license plate number. China has these things like, every odd days, the odd number card number license plate goes drive, and every even day, the even number car gets to drive. All right, so you know, you can imagine a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of stuff. Even taxi cars the same way. You are not allowed to drive an odd number license plate taxi on an even day. So, you know, there are, you know, if you're a poor family, you will have car just for the even day or just for the odd day. But if you're a rich family, you will have cars for even day and odd day. Okay, so that's the difference. And there are some that can only drive on the weekends. The license plate, that's they arrange by license plate. All right, this thing needs a little help. So, because Chinese people have a lot of cars, and the cars, they you know, so it's not just the rich people. The poor people has cars. However, you know, poor people only get to drive maybe 2 days a week or 3 days a week. So majority of the time they still use public transportation. All right, does that explain that question for you guys? It's interesting and smart in a way, but yeah, it's a hassle. If I can buy a car and I can only drive half the week, that kind of defeats the point. Now, you gotta think that it's a problem at the same time it's not. A lot of people does take public transportation, but something similar to Uber are very, very, very convenient in China. Okay, you can call car with that. There's multiple car company that will deliver you anywhere you want to go. And number one thing in China right now is food delivery. You don't have to go out to eat. You don't have to food delivery in China is ridiculous. Now let's talk about expectation of American food delivery. You call or use your app and you do deliver, and they show up in your house about half an hour with a plastic bag or paper bag food with some plastic ware, so you eat, right? And that would be the end of your delivery, right? Right? They will do that, and that's part of your delivery. China is different. Some restaurants, like I'm talking about maybe hot pot or whatever. If you guys know what hot pot is, right? Like, you know, if you go out and eat hot pot, they will deliver not only the food, the material, the stove, the pot, and utensils to your house. All right? So they go over there, go to your house with a huge, like a cooler thing, all right? They'll set up the freaking fire thing. They'll put a pot on there. They'll dump the soup in there, put all the food in there, light it up until it boils, set it up, says, I'll pick it up when you guys are done. So when you guys are done, either text me that you guys are done, or you can just leave it outside the door. We'll come to pick it up. That's the service they do in China. Isn't that crazy? They will serve the entire hot pot, including the fire stove and the pot, to your house, and then just pick it up at the end. I had to show you guys this. Hold on. Come on. Let me see if I can find you an example of that. This is gonna be hard to search for. Hold on. Like, I wouldn't have believed if somebody told me this if that didn't happen. They don't care. Here's one I can show you guys. This is an actual delivery, including that machine, okay? Including that machine, this is a delivery. This is a delivery. This is a delivery. Including the machine, they bring that machine, plug it in for you, put the food on top, and then ask you to eat it. When you're done, they come and pick up the machine. Alright? Now, you gotta say, well, why do they need a machine? Well, this is actually like almost like a fondue dipping thing. So, Now, you gotta ask, okay, how does the hot pot one look like? Here, I'm gonna show you the hot pot one, okay? This is no kidding. This is actually a delivery. Actually a delivery for hot pot. Did you see that? Each material that you order is on the side. They move the freaking pot for you. They move the oven, the stove for you, and everything is packaged. Put it up there, set it up for you, and then they leave. They set it up for you, and then they leave. You see that? When you're done, throw all those plastic away or keep it, you know, and then just put that, tell them to come pick it up that machine, and that's it. The end. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I didn't believe it until that actually showed up one time. All right, the client ordered it, and they really brought the whole hot pot into the hotel room. Everything was in there, including all the food like that. Just like that, set up on the table for you, and then they literally just say, when you're done, give us a call. Says you're done, we'll come pick it up. How is the crime in the city in China? I would say very high. I would say very high. But then it depends on what kind of high crime you're talking about. Majority are petty crime. Alright, here's another one. Here's another one. No, they're just regular price. It costs almost the same as if you eat it in the restaurant. Here's another one, okay? Now, this is, you see that? There's a label on the pot and then a label on the machine, like the blue label on the machine to tell you which restaurant it's from and which one to done. Here's the thing though. You see, not only the food is provided for you. That it looks like this thing is on stone table, right? It's not. They also give you the paper that lines your table, so your table doesn't get dirty. All right. So if you see right here, there's a layer like that's paper under the on top of the table. Under the food, there's a lining paper. They provide that paper so that your table will remain clean. Because if you want to see this, over here you can see the table is actually wood. The table's wood. They put liners over here just for you. Set up everything so that you can start eating. Alright, and it costs no more than eating in the restaurant. In fact, they love it for you to eat at home. You know why? Because you're not using their table. You're not using their electricity. Alright, this is no kidding. They set up everything. They set out everything for you. And they deliver in nice packagings too. Look at this. Alright, so this, you see this? Let me point out what they deliver to you. They deliver right here all the food and condiment meats and stuff, alright? They deliver side dishes. They deliver the pot and the fire here. The pot and the fire right here. They deliver all the sauces and pepper and whatever dipping stuff on here. You see it, like the bottles right there? All in a nicely put together bag in the center. All in a nicely sorted together bag. Everything is in there, and when you're done, just toss the pot right here into the bag, and then put it outside. They'll take it. If that's not ridiculous, what is? What is? And if you can't get a good view of that pot, I'm gonna show you guys. A lot of them will deliver like this. Here, these are the mini pot they deliver with the little like the alcohol fire thingy. If they do that in America, either they will make millions of dollars, make a lot of money, or all these pot will get stolen. All these pot will get stolen. But everything was down. Everything was down. Now you gotta say, what about those pot? What if they want to keep it? They take a deposit for those pot, and then once you return the pot, they give it back to you. They give it back to you. So here's how it looks like. Look at that. When you're done, you don't even have to wash the dishes. You just eat and then tell them to come clean up. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Everything's set up, including the pot and the fire, delivered to your place. Alright? And this is very normal. This is very normal. You can order it from the hotel. You can literally order it from the hotel. Alright? No kidding. Everything's set up for you. It's so typical. You can see all the pots are kind of like the same type because that's how every restaurant does it. That's how every restaurant does it. But definitely not as impressive as to eat in the restaurant. This is how it looks like to eat in the restaurant, those small pots. I mean, if you eat in the restaurant, you get to eat with these. So there's a slight difference. Alright, there's slight difference. Now, if you eat at home, it's less glamorous, and then, you pay, you eat, and it's done. But if you go to the restaurant, they use some nicer things. Nicer utensil, nicer, it's more for look. If you eat in the restaurant, it's more for look. Okay, so yeah, in China right now, delivery food service are ridiculous, so easy to eat. And let me give you an idea how much that hot pot will have cost. All right, how much that hot pot will have cost? Ready? Let me find one that has a price on it. Let's see. You give me a second. I'm just gonna dig up the price for you guys. Okay, ready? And this is no bullshit. I'm gonna show you the price. This is the price range. I'm not bullshitting you guys, okay? Here. This is the price per person. Per person. So if you order the meal enough to feed one person, you can pay the top or the bottom. It depends on the dishes that you want. There's choices. You see how good those picture looks like? All right? If you order for one person, it's either 80 or 50. You know how much 80 and 50 is? Christopher, I'll get to that. 80 yuan is equal to about $15. $15 delivered to your house per person. Now, obviously, that's one of the dishes, right? You can choose from here. The cheaper ones are 50. 50 is less than $10. 50 is less than $10. It's 1 to 6, or 1 to 7 almost. 1 to 6.5. This is the price. So you tell me whether or not that's affordable. You tell me whether or not that's affordable. You tell me whether or not that's affordable. It's ridiculous. Like I say, in China, I barely spend any money to eat because they're so cheap. Alright? You will get full. You will get full. Here. Like these are not, I'm not joking. Per person, 58. That's less than $10. Alright? $10 for dinner. And they say average delivery is about 158. 158. 158 is about $20. $20 to get hot pot delivered to your house, including everything. Pretty much. They deliver like crazy. There's a lot of delivery. This is cheaper to just eat at home and eat whatever you want at home. It's much easier nowadays. Okay, so let's talk about the Christopher's thing. There is a hotel. It's not a big hotel. It's a small hotel that has a bunch of people in coronavirus staying there and collapsed. To be honest with you, I think it's on purpose. I don't, usually hotels don't just fall apart. So. I did hear about that, but I think it's on purpose. I mean, who's there to prove it, you know? China right now want to build a lot of buildings to keep their GDP up. So they're happy if a house went down and they had to rebuild it. So for a hotel to go collapse, that's hard. Now, I'm not saying that's not possible. When you have 200 bed in one floor with all those people, you probably maxed out their max occupancy, and then obviously that will collapse. But I really don't know. Like if you ask me, I was like that has to be a setup of some sort. So this is pictures how it was delivered. It's just in the bag like this. It's really funny because right now they have that green tape right here. You see that? It says this box has been sanitized. This box has been sanitized. Has been wiped down with alcohol spray. So right now all the delivery. Right now China people can't go out, right? So they still order a lot of food, right? Because people can't go out. So what happened is the delivery guy will just deliver like that. And you see outside, right before they enter the apartment, whatever, they'll have one guy that sprays the bag and also make sure all the germs has been decontaminated and all that stuff, and put that green sticker on them so they can deliver out there. When they deliver out there, put all the food down, they come out, they have to do that one more time before they leave. They have to spray the delivery bag. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Chinese food are ridiculous. Alright, are ridiculous. By the way, this is so cute. I have to show you guys. You see this bear? You see this bear? Do you know what that is? Can anybody guess what this is? Can anybody guess what that bear is? Anybody at all? Guess what that bear is? Well, since people ask and I have information, cultural stuff. Good try, but it's not cheese. It's not potato. By the way, anybody can carve potato like that? Please let me know. It's not ginger. It's not ginger. You know, different restaurants actually have different shape of this. And then people will buy it just for that. People will buy it just for that. So, anybody else? No? No one else want to guess what it is? It's definitely not an orange. If you can carve orange like this, you let me know. Not a melon. Not a melon. Not squash. Good try though. Good try. By the way, hi Nicholas. Let me see you in here. Flower? Nah, close, but not really. Are you guys ready for answer? You guys ready for answer? You know, you can actually find this in some of the American restaurants as well nowadays. Jackfruit, no. Definitely not jackfruit. Let's see if okay, here we go. Now, this is lard. This is lard. Alright? Because it's spicy food, so they put the soup base and lard into a shape like this. So, that's lard. That's lard. And now people will go to certain restaurants just because they have some creative looking lard. Alright? Let me show you. So they heat up the pot and then that lard will melt into a soup base. That's lard. People love to take picture nowadays, so they have to be creative. So they put their soup-based lard and whatever essence they have into this shape. These melt into oil. These melt into oil. So once they melt, it looks like this. Like that. So that way they don't have to carry the oil on them because the lard is in shape. So once you heat it up, it become the hot pot. Isn't that creative or what? I think that's one thing that American food industry should learn. You know, it's not just eating, right? It's not just eating. It also in the entertainment factor. Nowadays, people use a lot of cell phone. They like to take pictures. They want to see things. They want to eat things with entertainment value. So a lot of time that changes. So they make it into shape. They look look nicely pleasing. The girl can take the picture before you eat. So that's very something that Chinese people do nowadays. So that's lard. We do have a restaurant in Massachusetts that does that. But yeah, if nobody ever told me, I would think that that's some sort of like somebody say a squash or a melon or something like that. But you wonder why they put it in the hot pot. When they melt and when you actually go eat one, you're like, oh, that looks good. And people are like, you gotta take a picture, you gotta do it quick. I was like, what is the hurry? And then by the time when I take it, it stopped melting. You wanna take a picture, do it quick. Yeah, okay. I got it. That's how it's like. Nowadays, before you go eat anything, your camera eats it first. And that's the one thing. That's one of the problems. No, they use a mold. So, they cook the whole entire essence and the oil and stuff like that. And once it cool down, it's such a shape, right? So they'll start dumping those things into a mold. And then the mold will shape like that. and then when they needed to take out the freezer. All right, last stir. How many people are actually on their last stir right now on this cigar? I don't know if I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow, but I don't want to smoke this too fast. So even though it kind of dies on me here and there. Last stir. I'm tasting a little bit of, obviously the creaminess is there. The Candela wrapper bitterness is there, a little bit, not a lot. You also get the Connecticut flavor in there, but I'm also getting a little bit of earthiness too, like a little bit of like a muddiness to it. A little bit muddiness more to it. Obviously the dark flavor is still there. The Connecticut creaminess is throughout. I mean, I think the only consistent flavor on this cigar is that creaminess. The creaminess is really there. The dark, coffee flavor is in and out, and the pepper is in and out too. Like sometimes I didn't even taste some of the puffs. I don't taste the pepper. Have a good night, Matt. I don't taste all the dark coffee taste all the time, but I do taste the Candela, very primary flavor in there. The Connecticut is much more primary in there. I think the thing about the darker leaf, the primary flavor from that really is just the pepper. The coffee, cocoa, leathery taste goes in and out. It's not consistent. It's not consistent for me. Also, I have burn issues. I don't know if you guys have the same issues. Hi, Pete. So, for you guys who is smoking this cigar, what do you think compared to the previous version, compared to the previous year? And obviously, not every year is got to have the same quality of the same cigar. Compared to the previous year, do you think this year is better? Do you think this this year is the worst one? Because I know, for example, Net, he didn't like the past few year ones. I smoked the previous year one. It's actually pretty good. I liked it, but this one, I don't dislike it. But I think that this could sit a little bit longer. I think this will need to age a little bit longer to have the flavors more evenly distributed throughout the cigar, rather than in and out. I don't know. What do you guys think? No more bobble pole burn problem, but this is the first time I had it. Pretty decent spice the last stir. The pepper is what I taste most from the darker leaf for sure. This is the first time you smoke one. So Sherry, how do you like it? Compared to all the cigar you smoked this week, would this be a daily if money wasn't the problem? Would this cigar be your daily if money wasn't the problem? I gotta be honest with you guys. For the entire week, this week, I smoke about 3 cigars a day. 3 cigars a day. But majority of the cigar I've been smoking, guess which one I'm smoking? For this, which cigar I smoked the most this week? The flavors, the taste almost like black market. That's interesting. I wouldn't have think of black market is close to this one. The Candela Connecticut game threw the most. I would choose Liga Zebra over this any day. Okay. I actually think the old Liga Zebra, I haven't tried the new one yet. The old Liga Zebra is actually very consistent throughout. It's actually not a bad cigar. I mean, obviously it's a lot better than the Jungle Stick. But yeah, this wouldn't be my daily for sure. It's about medium strength, right? Medium plus strength. It does take a while to smoke this. But this week, I smoke majority that Fuma that I smoked the other day. I smoked majority that Fuma. It's crazy. It wouldn't be a daily for you. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't be my daily either. It's almost like once in a blue moon, you don't know what you want to choose. Might as well choose all three, kind of thing. You know, it wouldn't be when it comes to Candela, I think somebody asked about Candela, which Candela to smoke. I really like the Camacho Candelas. I think it's very consistent, right? And obviously, I smoked the Roma Craft one. I smoked the few like the Ogre and stuff like that. I still like the Candela for Camacho better. I haven't tried a new Zebra yet, so OG, Esteban, Carrera, Zebra. Okay. I need to test that out. Maybe next Wednesday. Because I have the whole sample pack. I might as well try it. There's a little spice note in there. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. It's just interesting that you compare to the black market. So... Camacho Candela is good. The Espinosa Wasabi is my favorite one. You know, the problem with me and Espinosa Wasabi is that it's not a bad cigar. But calling it wasabi, I kind of expect some wasabi flavor in there. It has none. It doesn't taste like wasabi whatsoever. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. Illusionate AAA Candela. Okay. I think Candela definitely have its place. I saved out a lot of the Camacho Candela just for random days where I really just want to like something different and go with my green tea and everything. So it's not something I smoke all the time, but I really like it. And when it comes to selecting which Candela's wrappers are kind of iffy here and there. If a bad one is really bad, if a good one is really good. So. But you gotta kind of respect how much work it takes to make Candela wrappers, because obviously Candela wrappers are not easy to make. So I do think that it takes extra precaution, extra effort to make this cigar. So in a way, the price range is somewhat justified for me, because it does take more work to do this. All right, it does take more work to do this, so I kind of respect the cigar. And obviously the price range is not too bad, right? I think so. I think that a lot of time where let's say if you've been smoking for a whole week, your taste bud is pretty much all covered up by cedar, pepper, and maybe dark coffee. Like you've been smoking that all week. And you just like, I want something different. I want to smoke, but I want something different. Then Candela is a good choice. Would I smoke Candela every single day? No, I won't. Because whenever I smoke Candela, I slow down. I don't want to hotbox it because it becomes very bitter, right? So, it's not something that I will smoke all the time. Especially, even a Robusto will take me an hour and a half, if not more, to finish smoking it. So it's definitely a delicate cigar to smoke. It wouldn't be, Triple wrapper has to be challenging to roll consistently. I don't think they wrapped like a full triple wrapper, because I know the surface has two of the colors are surface, right? So I think, let me see which one. Okay, so the bottom base is gonna be the dark brown, so it's most likely Habanos, right? And they take the strips, the cut strips of Candela and the Connecticut and just roll it over. But this has to be glued on, right? This has to be glued on somehow, so. But it does take more work to decorate it. Because they do it to the cap, too. Like, not all my Shamrock has the same color cap. Some of them has triple color caps. Some of them have two color caps. Some of them have just one color cap. So, I think it's really cool to see. I mean, definitely a conversation starter if you have a friend that just started to smoke cigar and that doesn't have a lot of information on it. And something like this would really entertain people. I think you would. I think I will be entertained. So, I mean, the first time I see these kind of cigars, I was like, ooh, that looks really, really cool. I wonder, you know, I wasn't even wondering how it would smoke like. I just think that it looks super cool. By the way, I just remembered this, okay? So, Fernando was talking about how we have a ex-member start contacting them. Be very careful about that, because it looks absolutely like a scam. I don't know if there's any way to warn Facebook about this. And even if you say his account was hacked, how did he tell you that his account was hacked? That's my question. How do you know that his account was hacked? That's a question I have. I think he just become like a pathological liar, and that's just not cool. That's just not cool. I can't condone that kind of stuff. Good thing that he's not a member anymore, because I mean, obviously I don't like people go trash talk everybody, but something like this, I think if you're in different groups, which a lot of members are, definitely warn people about this situation, because something like that sounds like I read the chat log on that one, and basically it looks straight like one of those fraud, one of those fraud. Yeah, this is crazy. This I can't. I mean, when I read it, it makes me feel like gross to my stomach. Gross to my stomach. I'm not even kidding. I can't believe this used to be our member, Like Wells Fargo, what? So yeah, I mean, if he genuinely think that his account has been stolen, go report his account. Go report his account stolen, because this I can't, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. It makes me sick just looking at it. Not as sick as Michael Wells spitting out an egg, but sick. Okay. I was kind of weird. I was like, what's Chapin talking about? Michael Wells, spitting out the century egg all of a sudden. But I don't know how that conversation come about. Like, I was just like, today is a pretty good day. I didn't even see Chapin talking, and all of a sudden, boom, we're talking about, people eating and cheers on that century egg. You know what's really funny? What's really funny is that when Chapin was asking who have the video, I went back to look at the video, and I was searching for the frame where you spit it out and tried to take a photo shoot. My wife walked by and was like, I think did I hear your voice? I was like, yeah, I'm watching my old video so that I can cut the frame out to post. She's like, well, somebody like this stuff a lot, listen to themselves. I was like, no, I could do this silent. That just fast forward for it. I don't really care. I'm me talking into it. And she's like, no, it's okay. You can listen to yourself. What my concern in that particular thing is that I hope that he doesn't go out there and start still telling people that he's part of Shadow Smoker Legion and stuff like that. Because if anybody asks you, if anybody has concern, make sure, just let them know. He used to be a member, but we caught him, so we let him go. So it's kind of dangerous, when you have ex-member going out to talk like that. Yeah. That's just horrible. I'm looking at it. I was like, why? It's funny because people still fall for that kind of stuff. Right? We might not fall for it, but You know, one of the, you know, people still fall for the, you know, I'm a prince of Africa. I got $3 million stuck in the IRS. If you help me out, take it out, I will give you 3%. People still fall for that. People still fall for that, surprisingly. You know, there is some people just fall for that. I don't know. You know, people still fall for those like telephone scams. It's like, here's the thing. If they have that much money and they want to share it with other people, just tell them to send it over to you, right? They wouldn't need that, you know, money to help. But that, you know, it's such a typical scam that I feel it's almost weird. People still fall for it, but people do. People do. Sometimes it just takes somebody remind them that it is a scam. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. I do want to know this though. I would like to know the medication that his wife used to revive from death. If there is a drug that you can eat to revive you from death weeks after you died, I would like to know what it is. Because his wife just pulled a Jesus. And I will always remember that. I will always remember that. His wife pulled a Jesus. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, a few minutes. I need to wrap up the King Cyril challenge. And remember, the next one is any Toro Camacho cigars. Just choose any Camacho cigar, Toro cigars, and we'll do the next competition. We have to figure that out for sure. Okay. And let's see what other stuff that we're running in. There's one secret stuff I haven't sent out yet. The secret winner, haven't sent that one out yet. And then we have that going on. In May we have the MC anniversary. So don't if you did buy, you know, Cigar Mechanic, CMC anniversary, Cigar Mechanic, cigar, make sure to post it and hashtag it so I can find it. If I don't find it, it doesn't count. Okay. If I type in the hashtag, I don't see your post, it doesn't count. You have to post it. All right. Chris and I are tied at the moment. Okay. We need to figure it out. Somebody had to do a tiebreaker. Worst case scenario, I would just get my wife to do it. Tiebreaker, right? So that's going on. We have few new members that joined our group. I did see one self-introduction video. So for those new members, if you're watching this, or if you ever watch this, or if you haven't do your introduction video, remind the new members to do their introduction video. If you're if you know, with the new members, your friends, stuff like that, remind them to post the introduction video so we can get to know them, because you can really tell those people who never post the introduction video, we don't really know them, and that's the problem. So okay, unless their personality are like Chapin's, then yeah, we will remember them, but most time if they don't do it, we don't really remember them. Post what? If you buy Cigar Mechanic cigars from any of the Cigar Mechanic places, you get tickets for buying 5-pack, 3-pack, sampler pack, and or a whole box. So make sure to do that too. Okay, so that's that. Yep, and then we have 175. How did we get to 175? You know what's really funny? Because our group is adding that number, but this channel is losing members. This channel is slowly losing members. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. Why didn't we lose member when I was talking about don't subscribe? And now that you know, we're back on YouTube, people are like unsubscribing. Who knows? Who knows? So that's that. Anything else? Oh yeah, I have to post up the keychain one to see if we got 25 people. If 25 people wants the keychain, then I'll do it. All right. Now, because I never ordered a sample before, I don't know how it's supposed to look like. But the keychain itself is basically a round dial like this, and then has a can opener at the end. That's the bottle opener at the end. All right. There's a bottle opener at the end and has a loop on top. There's a keychain, and it's gotta be about $10 each plus shipping, so about 13 at most. For the thing, but we need to find 25 people because 25 minimum. No, we're still missing few members on there. I've been trying to look for some of the address. I couldn't find it, but I haven't gone back to update it. So there are a few members. Check them when you have the chance. Not rush, I think, but just eventually, or maybe the next time you check for names, that'll be something we can update. Okay, so it looks like that Martin might have after show again today. Martin might have after show today, since he already poured himself a glass. All right, pour himself a glass. I need to figure out how to do a like a multiple people show thingy, because I think that'll be very interesting to invite, you know, maybe Michael or whoever to kind of chat about cigar here and there. So I'll figure out how to do the multicast thingy, and then you know, because before I tried to use some of them, they're not that reliable. But what I'm thinking is to utilize Skype to do that. So maybe I'll find a day that I can try to do that with either Michael or Martin or whoever has the time. We'll do a multicast, and we will do it with the Skype and see what happens. And maybe that'll work out pretty well. Who knows? We'll find out. I think that'll be fun. Okay. So that's it for the night. I had the good cigar. It's pretty good overall. Do I recommend it? I do recommend this cigar, but it's not some cigar I would recommend you to buy a box for. I would say buy a fiver and leave it for the day that's special, because it seems like they gotta release it once every year anyway. So just get like 5-pack and have it in storage and smoke it once every 2 months. You'll be fine. So I don't think that you had to buy a full box of this, other than the fact the box is cool. Okay, so that's it for the day. I hope everybody have a good day, good weekend, good night, good Sunday. Tomorrow I think we originally were gonna have meet, but we canceled that because not many people can show up. So tomorrow I'll just relax. And who knows, if I got extra time, I'll come up for like a small podcast. But yeah. Martin, are you doing after show or not? Martin, are you doing after show or not? Just so we know. Cause guess what's gonna happen after this? I'm gonna go upstairs. I gotta make a hot pot. I'm gonna eat it. I'm hungry right now. Whenever I talk about food, so evil. But I'm hungry right now. I gotta go up there and eat. All right. So Martin Amaya says a maybe. All right, we'll find out if he does on Facebook. Check out Facebook here and there. I know some people are not receiving live notification from Facebook here and there. So Martin, if you gotta do it, post that. You gotta do it first so people look out for it. But if not, it is what it is. Have a good night, everybody, and I will see you guys the next time I go on. Bye, guys.